Hey everybody, Dr. Martin Williams here, and I'm so excited to help you mold your own future. You know, I'm really interested most of all in people taking control of their own lives, figuring out what they need to do to own their own presence, to live in a way that really makes sense to you. So it's impossible for you to live the life that you really have in your head and your heart without dealing with your paradigm. Maybe you've never heard the word paradigm before. So let me give you the simple definition of the word paradigm. A paradigm is simply a model or pattern in which you live your life. You see, there's a model and a pattern that you're living by right now, and you don't even know about it. Let me ask you something. When you're going from your house to where you work, or from where you work to your children's school, or from your children's school to the mall, someplace that's familiar, do you ever put that in your GPS system? Do you put in your GPS system when you leave work to go home? You put in home address. No, you don't. On your way home, you can make phone calls. On your way home, you can think about other projects. On your way home, you can think about what you're going to wear to an evening event, right? You can multitask when you're on your way home because it's already a paradigm for you. It's already synced in your mind. It's part of what you think, or everything about you knows how to get home. But if you're going to a destination in which you don't know, you will put that in your GPS system. You'll pay attention to where you're driving. You're not doing a lot of phone calls. You're not doing a lot of other thinking because you're headed to a place you're not familiar with. Your paradigm is your familiar GPS system that's in your head. You don't think about it. The question is there anything going on in your head and in your life that's leading you to the wrong direction and you don't know it? It's already set. It's finished, right? That's what we want to deal with. It's that set of rules and regulations, whether they're written or unwritten. They're rules and regulations that do two things in your life. The first thing that a paradigm does is it establishes the edges and the boundaries of your territory. It determines how much money you have, where you live, the type friends you have, how long you'll live. Your paradigm sets the boundaries and says when you get to the edges of those boundaries, your paradigm says don't go any further. That's enough money. That's enough success. That's enough joy. That's enough peace. Now, in order for you to change in your life, you've got to deal with that particular issue with your paradigm. The second one is it tells us to act without those boundaries. It tells us that we must react within those boundaries rather. In other words, those boundaries are set. We know how to act inside here, but once we move outside here, we're lost. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to act. We don't know how to react. And it's very important that you know you're in a box. Go ahead and write that down. I am in a box. I'm in a box for my whole life. Now, here is the part about this that you could really struggle with for a moment. If you're in that box, everything about you is in that box too. Your health is in that box. Your money's in that box. Your relationships are in that box. If you're married, your spouse is in that box. If you have children, your children are in that box. That's a paradigm. It is a system and a set of rules that box in your life. So we have to deal with this system or set of rules. Now, let's talk a little bit more about paradigms. When you're in a paradigm, it not only shapes you, it shapes how people respond to you. Every day when you walk around in life, you are teaching people how to treat you. You're teaching people what they can do with you and what they can't do with you. You're teaching your boss whether you deserve a raise. You're teaching your family whether you should be admired. You're teaching the world whether you should be loved. Your paradigm doesn't just shape you. Your paradigm shapes how others treat you, your mindset. So if you want to change your life, you have to deal with your paradigm. Now, at the end of the day, your paradigm says these words to you and everybody around you. This is how we do it around here. This is how we do it. Don't step outside these lines. Don't mess up a good thing. Your paradigm warns, your paradigm drives your heart rate up when you have a new idea. Your paradigm drives your depression up when you're confronted with something you don't know. It can be confusing because your paradigm says, we don't do that. This is the way we operate. This is the way we're going to continue to operate. And sometimes your paradigm can say to you, literally, if you move outside these boundaries, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to shut you down. You're not going to be happy, right? It's this computer algorithm that you live with. It's this thing that you're not even thinking about that is limiting you. Now, you know me. If you're going to mold your own future, you're going to have to really deal with this. I'm here to show you how. I want you to plug into the rest of this season because at the end of it, I'm going to teach you how to dream. I'm going to teach you how to use your paradigm, change it, flip it on its head, empower your paradigm, and then move ahead with a new one. Yes, there is hope. All right. So now, my last question to you is, what is your paradigm? What are your limits? Can you test those limits? Can you start to look in your life and say, wow, those are challenges. When I start to think about that, when I start to move on that, when I start to make decisions about that, I get stuck. We're gonna find those paradigms and we're going to move them. So if today was the first time you've heard about paradigms, go ahead, study them for yourself. Go ahead and all those searches you need to do to find out what a paradigm is, to get more knowledge about it, go ahead and do that. If it's a new concept for you, it's just one of those concepts. I know it's true. You just need to take this in. You need to take this in, let it do what it has to do in you, deal with it, let it go through your mind and your body, your spirit and your soul. And let's get to that realization that we need to do something about our paradigm. Even if you have a good one, you can make it better. Are you ready? Well, I'm Martin Williams. All I want to do is help you mold your own future. Take control of your own life. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to tell people about this podcast. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, everything else I'm doing because we're on a learning journey. See you next time.